的刚都还有人坐呢。
坐那小车吗？
对啊，我们现在来到了这个巴拉瑞特 Tramway 博物馆，还比我想象中破烂了许多，感觉很像一个 warehouse 仓库，一点都不像一个博物馆。关门。
Visit again in the future. We have opened to see update and expand display on trains. Hopefully late January 2020.
坐前面那个替代版的 tram 好像也没什么意思，因为它就前后走。它以前是
从这儿发车，
对，从这儿发车绕个圈，让你看一看。
那现在不没有
因为我看到他那有牌子 ，ticket 可以之前在这儿买。
还真别说，这种 tram 大连也有，现在还有。
什么机关之类的，
仪器之类的。
好像我已经
38路。
哦 ，Thank you。
This is the old tram.
哇，
Thank you。
哎呦，
应该经常有人吗？
就很淡的。
对他人很好。哦，可以跟那个售票员买那个礼物。就是租马来候这个车，但这个车对，但这个车跟这个就不太一样，你们可以看一下。
哇哦
Wow, number one. Yes.
So how many horse they need?
2.
Oh, just two?
Yeah.
Ooh.
How many passengers you can?
About 40.
40, only
Yeah.
2 horse.
Yeah. Yeah. The steel wheels on the steel
Ah, right.
There's no resistance, so they can push them. So once it's rolling,
Yeah.
the skill of the driver of the tram was to make sure that particularly if they're going down a little bit of a hill, that the driver had the brakes partly on, otherwise the tram would actually run up the back of the horses. So that once the load is moving, it's very easy for the horses to actually move the tram.
好深的洞
It's a track cleaning tram.
，cleaning truck。
In 1935 in Melbourne. It's got a water tank on it. It's got a pump on board. And when you drive it along, you can see the 2 pipes going down into the front of it just there. The 2 pipes running on an angle.
Oh, yeah.
There's nozzles on the end of that, so when you drive along, it actually flushes out any of the material that's caught in the track.
What?
There's 2 on each corner, front and back. And behind those castings are some carbon blocks that we just lower down onto the track, and as the train goes along, it scrapes the top of the rail. So if you run along and there's leaves on the track, and they get squashed into the top of the rail, and then they get wet.
哇，这个是什么？死人了是吗？
啊？
哎呀，那为什么绑了这样？
跪下老爷爷。
要么婚庆。
This gets used for weddings, so there's
I thought it's for
there's a
funeral.
wedding reception place along our tram line.
Oh.
So if it's an option for the bride, if they're having their wedding reception at that particular establishment, they can actually charter this tram and go for a ride on and have a few drinks. Yeah, these jacks are very old, so we're allowed to use them to lift the tram, but we're not allowed to leave the tram weight supportive on those jacks. So we've actually got the more modern props sitting on it.
这个很难得有人愿意给我们分享。
Just stay
Wow.
outside. Come here this way. This isn't a little bit this is a mess.
小心。
Story with this, so this came from Geelong. You know
Geelong.
what Geelong is?
Yes.
So Geelong had trams as well as Ballarat and Bendigo. Geelong they procrastinated. They were slow to get started in having trams. So where Ballarat had horse-drawn trams, and then they converted the system to electricity in the early 1900s. The Geelong tramway didn't start until 1912 because they couldn't get agreement about where the tracks were going to go, and there was about 6 councils looking after Geelong. They couldn't agree with each other. So it was quite a late system. So 1912 it started, and this tram was built for the Geelong system. It started operating on the first day, so it was built in 1911. The system started in 1912. But it also closed down quite early in terms of tramways. It closed in 1956, so the tramway was only 40 years old, which in tram terms is very, very young. This was scrapped and it was sold to a farmer, and he put hay into it, and he used to feed his animals out through the windows.
Okay.
It's in 1956. In about 1990, there was some interest in him selling it, and a man from Canberra bought it. With
For how much?
Don't know. With the intention of converting it into a kid's playhouse for his kids. And when he got it to Canberra, he thought, maybe it's a bit too good for a kid's playhouse. So he started restoring it. So it's taken him 28 years to restore it, but he has done the most magnificent restoration. So all of this timber work's been redone in exactly the same timber that was in there when it was first built. And a lot of it still is the original timber work as well. So again, this had been protected by a roof. Yeah, but just go up there and have a look.
这个是 smoking area。
哪里？
你看，这是里面不可以抽，这里是抽烟区。
Oh, sorry.
你把人家挤。
Sorry about that. Wow.
哇，这个好漂亮。它是这种藤编椅。
Beautiful.
这个应该当婚车吧？
哇，这个可以搞复古婚礼。
对呀，
它是藤编，
实在是不怎么地。
但是这个保存起来估计很麻烦，这个藤编。
Yeah, I know. They must have been skinny drivers. I think.
That's pretty heavy. Ah, there you go.
Yeah.
Stop.
So this is, he's actually gifted this to Ballarat. So
Right.
we will operate it on special occasions. So even this is gold, that's gold leaf paint. So that's the company that ran the tram was a private company. It was called the Melbourne Electric Supply Company. So there's the M, Melbourne
OK。
Electric
哦
Supply
Tram
Company.
company right。
Beautiful.
Does operate, yes.
Oh, it's number 2.
Number 2, yes. There was 7 of them built initially, and they used to tow a trailer, so they'd have a tram and a trailer. So there were 7 trams and 4 trailers, and the trailers were eventually converted into trams, which was a different design. Yeah, have a guess.
60 years?
More than that.
More than that. What?
Yeah.
100?
96. So you get the prize.
96.
Yeah, 1926 it was built, so because we're now in 2022, it's 96 years old. Yeah.
像不像个碗面？
就很像挽联，人家婚车。
That's okay.
Thank you。
Thank you so much. Very impressive. 它就很短啊，这前面一点点，一会儿就回来了。
走了。等一下，我们就可以体验一下这个 train。
哦，比欧式。
Can we pay by car? Oh, that's good. Cool.
来吧。
Oh, thank you. 大家看，这个是我的票票，好酷哦，还是旧的这种。那边是驾驶室，我就在湖边这样沿着看一走。我们包车。
Being a 4-wheel tram, only has 1 pole, so we've got to walk it round at the end of each trip.
驾驶员还要换一下位置，两边都是车头。回去的话，他要换到这边来开车。我感觉我的脚回去之后应该会红掉。 整个脚都是这个红土。其实住在这也蛮爽的，周末来这里 赏赏花、散散步。上面那个一粒粒的是什么？红牡丹，就这么一丢丢。好平。现在来到了网红玻璃房门口。Face mask must be real。网红玻璃房。温室的背面，大家要走到后面才能看到它是三角形的哦，正面其实没有那么好看。然后最好的摄影角度就是走到这棵树这边，一拍就是 Instagram 风。现在可能不是季节，就里面的花其实没有很多。我在小红书上面看到有人来的时候，他们上面还吊了一些花盆，就更加的好看。这个是他们背面的一些装饰。